promised to regulate the debt settlement industry years ago, but the province has still not acted.
And many consumers are still falling victim to what some call predatory businesses. Lynda's here with more on that tonight.
Well, other provinces have actually moved to legislate these companies out of existence. So the question is, why isn't our province acting to stop U.S.-based debt settlement companies from charging huge amounts of money to vulnerable British Columbians? At 65 years old, Val Mueller's financial woes have taken a toll.
Those credit card people love you, and you paid your $500, and then they send you things saying you're good for $1,000, then you're good for $12,000.
Before she knew it, Val was $36,000 in debt. So when a U.S.-based company called Canadian Debt Services offered to fix Val's problems, she jumped at the chance.
I was paying them $345 every 2 weeks, and I thought it was money to start for them for negotiations with my creditors.
But $4,000 later, Val learned that none of the money had gone to pay down her debt. All of it went to pay upfront fees to Canadian Debt Services. The company has an F rating with the Better Business Bureau. And according to Consumer Protection BC, it doesn't even have a license to operate in this province.
I think it's just a horrible situation.
Credit counselor Blair Manton sees desperate consumers like Val every week.
They were trying to do the right things, trying to deal with a horrible financial situation, and they just got taken advantage of and ended up spending money they didn't have and being worse off in the end.
BC has the highest consumer debt rate in the country. So why isn't the province doing something about these debt settlement companies? Many U.S. states have moved to prevent debt settlement companies from charging high upfront fees. So have Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, Nova Scotia, and PEI. BC has been studying the issue for years, but still hasn't acted. Justice Minister Suzanne Anton declined our request for an interview, saying only that legislative changes will be required to license and regulate debt settlement companies in BC.
So the fix is there and everybody knows what it is. It just takes a long time to get the legislation through, unfortunately. And while we're waiting, every week I see more and more people who are still falling prey to these operators.
Canadian Debt Services did not return our phone calls. Val, though, did stop payments to the company and signed what's called a consumer proposal with Sands & Associates. That means her debt is frozen, reduced by up to 80%. She has 5 years to pay it off, and creditors are not allowed to bother her during that time. A lot of people don't know that that's an option. They think, oh, I've got to go for a debt settlement. You can do it that way, and then there's a lot less stress.
And it's so easy to get yourself into that hole. You know, people think, oh, how did she get into it? It's not hard to do. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first step, but she's still determined to get her money back from the
Canadian Val's feisty, and she was not taking this one lying down. She took Canadian Debt Services to small claims court. Good for you, Val. Many phone calls and emails later, the company agreed to refund Val the $4,000 she had paid in upfront fees. And while it's embarrassing to be in debt, Val wanted to tell her story in the hopes of preventing others from falling into the same debt settlement trap. It happens all the time. It's really hard to find someone to speak about it because they're embarrassed. They think, I don't want people to think less of me.
She's not alone.
She is way not alone. A lot of people out there. So you did a good thing, Val. Now, if you've had a bad experience with a debt settlement company, get in touch. Tell us your story. We'd like to hear it. Here's how you can reach us.